Are you trying to run an asynchronous task in ASP.NET Core, but finding that your page is loading slowly? You're not alone. Today, we're going to solve this common issue together. I totally get how frustrating it can be when your page takes forever to load because of a background task. It can feel like you're waiting for a pot to boil. But don't worry, we can fix this. Here's the specific question we're addressing. One user asked, how can I run an asynchronous task when loading a page in ASP.NET Core without delaying the page load? They shared their code and mentioned that the page waits for the task to complete before displaying. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this. So what's happening here? In ASP.NET Core, middleware can be used to run tasks during the request pipeline. However, if you await a task before calling the next middleware, it can block the response. Let's explore how to fix that. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a quick tip that will help you optimize your ASP.NET Core applications even further. To address the user's issue, we need to modify the middleware to ensure that the asynchronous task starts without blocking the page load. First, the user should call the next middleware immediately after starting the asynchronous task. Next, the user can achieve this by using a fire and forget approach. This means starting the asynchronous task without awaiting its completion. The user can do this by simply removing the await keyword. Now, the user should ensure that the asynchronous task is properly handled. This means that any exceptions thrown during the execution of the task should be logged or managed appropriately. Finally, the user can test the implementation by navigating to the specified page. They should observe that the page loads immediately while the asynchronous task runs in the background. Fun fact: did you know that asynchronous programming can help improve the responsiveness of your applications? It's like having a personal assistant who can handle tasks while you focus on what's important. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user suggests that ASP.NET was not designed for background tasks. They recommend using a proper architecture like Azure Functions or Web Jobs, along with a reliable queue system for communication. However, if you still want to run background tasks in ASP.NET, they mention using iApplication Lifetime, but caution that this approach carries risks, such as the possibility of tasks being aborted. Now, let's see a response from a different user. An alternative approach suggested by a user is to use threadpool.queue user work item instead of awaiting the asynchronous task. This allows the task to run on a separate thread, enabling the page to load immediately. It's important to note that any code after this block will execute right away. However, if the web server process is recycled, the background task may be aborted, so defensive coding is necessary. Lastly, the method called from the background thread does not need to be asynchronous, as it will run independently of the main thread. Now, let's shift our focus to a different response. An alternative solution provided by another user is to use Hangfire for managing background tasks in ASP.NET Core. Hangfire allows you to run tasks in the background without delaying the page load. Here's the tip I promised. Always ensure that you handle exceptions in your asynchronous tasks to avoid silent failures. This will keep your application running smoothly. And there you have it. Your page should now load quickly while the background task runs. Remember, optimizing your middleware can make a huge difference. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.